Alright, this is an initial video I intend to use on my website for a page on the subject of suicide, and I'll see if I can find other videos to embed on the subject. Maybe, if I can, provoke a discussion or something with people who are opposed to my position on the subject, which I don't understand. I don't understand their opposition. So anyway, yeah, it's in defense of suicide. There's two reasons to let people, to celebrate or to endorse freedom on this subject. The first is a real practical one, especially since we're heading for a kind of a doom economics. The system, the healthcare system, is wasting a preposterous amount of money, imposing life on people who really don't want it, therapies and treatments and everything else, because they really don't give them an option, because they don't give people the choice to say, no, that's enough, we don't need to do another MRI and another stick this somewhere and stick that somewhere and shove this in there and all that crap. There's plenty of people who know when they're cooked and they're done, and it's time to gracefully exit, and if given the choice, they'll take the damn choice. And we have got to create a system that lets them do that. They should have the freedom to do that. So there's mechanisms. It's really easy to protect people who don't want the choice. You simply have a system where we basically have a living will. We're all obligated at 18 years old, we could say, to say one way or the other, I want to retain the freedom to make the choice, or I don't want the freedom to choose that decision. So then the people who are worried that they're going to go delusional and say, kill me, they can protect themselves. They can say, don't give me the right. Don't, even if I'm, no matter what happens to me, no matter what happens, don't pay any attention to me if I say I want to die, because I don't want to die. I don't believe I should have the right. This isn't a subject where one group of people needs to tell another group of people what to do. This isn't highway traffic. This isn't some behavior that has a consequence implicating other people. This is a personal liberty issue. It's about people being allowed to invest their welfare in their judgment. It has no social consequence, and therefore society really has no business prohibiting or interfering in people freely choosing to make a decision to end their life when they see fit and how they see fit. There's a lot of people who just wipe this issue away, just fluff it off like, well, just jump out of a building or jump in front of a car or some other kind of stupid jargon. It's just stupid. Obviously, we are inhibited by harming ourselves. And to presume that people who aren't interested in living have some interest in hurting themselves is insulting and really, really, really dumb. So go ahead, comment some stupid comment, and I'll just block you. If you're that stupid, you're not going to take the subject seriously, then fuck you. We all, even a bullet to the head, it's simple, it's quick, but it's just not graceful. All right, it does have a diminished dignity to it, and people have a right to retain all of their dignity. They have a right to die without inhibition, fear, and the threat of violence occurring, and them going through a process that might be violent and unpleasant. It's just cruel, and there's no other word for it, and it's insulting, and it's fascist, it's anti-liberty, it's anti-fair, it's anti-just, it's control freaky evil. For one person to interfere in another person's decisions on this subject unless they can demonstrate as a fact that somebody is Looney Tune wacko crazy. And unless they can do that, they have no business taking control of their life, any aspect of it, and most important aspect of it. And that really is the most important. I mean, besides being born, dying is going to be the biggest event in your life. That transition time is going to have huge consequences to how your life is cleaned up, how your family members are subjected to the loss of your company, and all of that can be done much more gracefully if it's a planned event, if it's a known event, if it's open and free and liberated. It's just silly. Most people aren't going to say to somebody in pain or somebody uncomfortable or somebody just without enough desire to maintain initiative, they're not going to say, oh, you must. I mean, we have no obligation to impose life on each other. There's no moral obligation. There's no ethical obligation. There's exactly the opposite obligation. The obligation is to at least give people the choice. Certainly you should have the freedom and the liberty to try to persuade somebody that there's something here that they are going to miss, that they need to be here for, or that they have more to do, or some obligation to fulfill. But other than that, you really don't have a right to take this freedom from people. It's obscene. That here we are in the 21st century and people still can't get this simple one right. So anyway, like I was saying, there's the first point is that it's a matter of practicality. We can take care of more people better if we quit forcing people who don't want your care to have your care. If we quit forcing people to live lives and years and sufferings that they don't have any interest in enduring. Then we'll have more resources for people who do want, for people who are desperate for a few more days. We can give them more if we quit using it up on people who just don't fucking want it. And the second argument is a purely ethical one. You have no right to tell people that this life thing makes any sense at all. And if people have come to the conclusion that their personal life is done and finished, it's their decision. Now, obviously, it's it's easier for some people to get this when people are in terminal illness or when they're but there's also people in chronic pain, and maybe they've lost their legs and arms. Maybe there's some other catastrophe that's taken place that's just taken away all the value in their life. That all the things they used to do that had meaning to them, they can't do anymore. And the longer they live, the more they just resent their existence because they know what they're missing. There's debilitating, disease. There's debilitating circumstances that deprive people of meaningful life. And then the third stage of this would be somebody maybe like myself who might have drawn the conclusion that this is a pointless chase. This is the heroin addict chasing the dragon. There's no dragon. Okay, it's an illusion. You can't win this life game. It's a pursuit of a satisfaction you can only maintain for a short period of time, and then you're hungry again. And I don't see great purpose in it. I see great purpose in cleaning up mess that we've created as a race, as a kind, being here on Earth. There's certainly much in the world to accomplish, to be productive, but I don't think I'm personally gaining by being here. I don't see any profit for me, so if there was no obligation, if I didn't feel any obligation, yes, there'd be nothing keeping me here. Sure, I desire, sure, I'm hungry, but I know it's just there's no fulfilling it. It's that we're not made to be fulfilled. That's not how the natural beast works. Animals are made to be hungry and wanting and chasing, and that's what keeps them alive. And that's the insidiousness of nature, is that they are meant to be deprivated, dissatisfied, because it's dissatisfaction that keeps them alive. It keeps them moving, keeps them eating, keeps them playing the game that will inevitably lead to their reproduction and the perpetuation of the game. So anyway, it's a philosophical issue, but the point is you can't come to me with a rational argument saying why you have a right to tell other people what life means, because that's a big, fat, open question, subject to individual understanding and perception, and you can't impose some normal standard, because obviously average and normal doesn't mean a whole lot. If we look at through history, what the average person believed or what the normal person believed, we have found to be complete bullshit. And there's no reason to suspect that we're still in the same circumstance, where most people on subjects like this one, especially on the meaning of life, have still got it motherfucking catastrophically wrong. And they have no business imposing that deluded little fairy tale, that little notion of unicorns and angels and fluffy cloud paradises on everybody else, on anybody else is the key point. So anyway, just to provoke the argument, and to initiate a page I'll create. I tried to do it on YouTube, but I really can't go back there comfortably, even though I still have a channel there on this subject. I'm not gonna use it until I have some assurance from YouTube that it's not gonna get annihilated too. I just can't invest in that place anymore. So anyway, I'll post some links, maybe down here, to maybe one of the videos that YouTube did, whatever, got flagged and they took it down. Perfectly valid video, nothing gratuitously awful in it whatsoever. Just a destruction of free speech on this subject. And that's what makes it even more disgusting, is you can't even goddamn talk about it in this motherfucking country. The United States of America is too wimpy to even deal with the subject of what life means and what death means and what rights individuals should really have. But again, I stress once again, this is a right that has no consequence. So little kids aren't going to die in the street because somebody has this right. And you can put in protections that would obligate people who, once they have children, they got an obligation to be here. They're not going to be allowed to just cop out. You can have all kinds of instruments that preserve somebody's right to say, I don't want the right, and also protect innocence from somebody making a choice when they have obligations to fulfill, debts to pay, so to speak. So if you have debts to pay, maybe you're just, the easy exit isn't your right anymore. But anyway, I mean, these are all things that we can create a system that protects any social interest that could possibly exist and still support this liberty. And there's no excuse that it ain't goddamn done. Anyway, I'll throw in a few goddams just to really emphasize the point that you bastards who would stand in the way of legislation that would allow people this simple liberty are disgusting pieces of motherfucking shit. Sadistic, evil fucking pieces of shit. There. Till next time. Wink. Wink. I don't know why I did that. I'm a little nervous today. I've been working outside, a little tired. Alright, so that's it. The Grayovision, just for the hell of it.